Yo tout le monde, c'est Game, c'est bonjour, aujourd'hui on se retrouve pour une nouvelle vidéo. Alors là on se retrouve. On gagne un truc ou pas? Si on va là-bas. On gagne un truc ou... Ouais. Par contre.
That's how we use our voice. I think of where we are right now. People say this is a particular moment, but it is a movement, not just a moment, it is a movement. Why, in your opinion, was it George Floyd's death? Why was that the chosen brutality for people to say, oh my God, Black people are still oppressed in this country, and it is not fair?
I think it's twofold, Carrie. In so many different encounters between people of color and the police, there simply is no proof of what happened in the interaction. And so what happens is in a court of law, it tends to lean towards the policeman's point of view, right? In this case, we saw very clearly what happened. I think the other thing is due to the fact that everyone was at home, basically during this time period in relation to the coronavirus, you couldn't avoid it, right? It was on every television station. It was on every social media platform. Everywhere you turn, you were constantly hit upside the head with this message. You see in the interaction that this man did nothing to deserve what happened.
That's right. That's so well said, because if you think about it, in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't worth it, and he didn't have to lose his life. I think that you touched on something that a lot of people talk about, and that is now defunding the police. That has been such a huge conversation, but there's so many misconceptions around defunding and dismantling. If you will, educate the audience.
All right, so most people, when they hear the term defund the police, they tend to think of, oh, they're going to take away our police department. Nothing could be further from the point. Defunding the police means that in certain communities, even Houston, take for example, we had over $1 billion allocated to our police force. Now, what is that money being used for? Some of that money tends to be allocated towards riot shields, right? Pepper spray, right? That kind of thing. That's only used against people that because of that, we will have less need for the police in those communities.
You are passionate about so many different things in terms of making sure that we are holding our leaders accountable. Talk to me about some of the other projects that you're working on.
Well, right now, obviously, give them the right information and lead them in the right direction. And we thank the people that do not look like us for standing with us right now, because it's very important that people who aren't Black be involved, because if Black people could have gotten rid of racism, we would have done it hundreds of years ago. And so I'm trying to use my voice and my platform just to let people know that if they feel like I do, there's a number of places they can go to enact change in their community. People need to know about how their city council runs. They need to know that they have the ability to speak when city council meets, to let them know that that's not the way that they feel their city needs to be run. Those are not the places that they feel the money of their community needs to be allocated.
And Bubby, even a step further, they can run for office in their local community. They can run for positions. Like, people act like they leave it up to somebody else. If you're upset, it's not hard to get on the school board. It's not hard to be a part of the city council. It really isn't. And depending on how small your town is, you could be a mayor. It's the power is with the people, and we need to just know that that's happening.
Absolutely, and it's always been with the people. You know, if you Fulton, right? She felt that there was a system of racism and a system of oppression that led to her son's death. And so what did she do? She ran for city council, and she was elected city council. Our own former president, 44, Barack Obama, right, started in the community as an activist, ran for an elected position, became senator, ran for another elected position, and became president of the United States. So don't think that you can't make a difference. You know what I'm saying? You don't need a lot of money. You don't need a lot of power. Your voice is enough to make a difference.
Amen. I feel like I need to go out and run for something. You gave me a rousing speech there, sir. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you this. When I talk to my brothers, I have to ask you, as a black man, how are you doing? Are you okay?
I'm good. I'm good. I have a very strong relationship with God, so prayer definitely works for me. I have children and grandchildren who are watching me, who are encouraged by what I do, and they're proud of me right now, and that's really what matters. The change starts at home, so as long as you have a support system that believes in what you're doing and supports you in what you're doing, you have everything you need to go out there and fight the good fight. And for those that don't, there's a community of people here to help you. So you can go to places like morethanavote.org. There are many different places that will encourage you, inform you, and they will put you with groups of people that feel like you, that are ready to take action. So no one has to go about this alone if they want to do it.
Yeah, we're stronger together. People have been saying it, but that has much more meaning now that we are in our movement, not just this moment. Bumby, it has been an education, always a pleasure. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Keep fighting the good fight.
Keep up the good fight.
Quoi, Nathan?
C'est qui? Je te connais pas, toi.
Yeah, la la.
So our next guest, I have to admit, I'm a fan, but there are so many different people that we could talk to, and I thought it was so imperative that we speak with her. You know
Pourquoi tu
her
m'as
as
rejoint?
Molly
Bah,
on
tu
the
m'as invité,
huge,
non?
successful show Insecure, HBO's
Ouais, ça
Insecure.
va?
She also
Ouais,
has a
toi?
comedy special
Tu
highlighting
t'ennuies pas
her
trop tout
and
seul?
Chaine
XD?
and she's an amazing
Non, j'ai en train de
podcaster.
regarder
Let's
le
welcome
truc
in
en fait
Yvonne.
réel, je
G,
sais pas
everyone.
ce que tu
You
dis un
have
truc
such
ou
a
pas.
beautiful way of making things funny, giving us
Ah bah
our
attends, je viens
medicine
avec
with
toi.
some candy, right? The humor and the healing. You bring all of
Ouais,
that
go y aller, hein.
to your space.
Ouais,
And
vas-y,
right
je peux
now,
quitter et
as we work
rejoindre.
across this
Là, je
country,
peux quitter et
everyone is so
rejoindre.
broken and
Ah
so
bon?
upset. If it's not social injustice, it's the pandemic, it's
Tout à
depression,
l'heure, moi j'ai
it's
fait une vidéo.
unemployment. The list goes
Non,
on
mais
and
il veut
on.
quoi, lui?
How are you
Non, mais
doing,
dégage.
quite frankly?
On twerk dessus.
You know, I am.
Ouais, tu peux,
I'm
tu peux
rediscovering
quitter.
self
C'est vrai. Attends, le
in a
pauvre.
way that
Attends, le pauvre.
that is hard but necessary. That will lead to ultimate joy. I know it sounds like a lot, but no, I think I personally think that God put all of us on a global timeout. Like we just, America hasn't done as good as other people when it comes to timeouts because everyone else is out playing at recess, and we're still in the principal's office hoping and wishing we can come out. But I think that if we
Tu peux
settle
quitter,
into the
on se le remet
timeout
après.
and really learn the lesson that we're supposed to learn from this season, I think we'll emerge better. We'll learn how to play well with others in more ways than one. And so personally for me, I'm taking this time to learn me in a new way. I feel like I'm being ushered into a new season, and I'm getting still because sometimes the busy confounds the work that we're supposed to actually be doing. We're busy doing other stuff, but we got work that we need to do on the inside. And I'm leaning into it. I'm like, dang, I thought I was gonna be able to rest like everybody else. And you guys like, nah, we got work to do.
You know what? And I think that's what everybody is saying about 2020. It's demanding.
Je vais pas être comme ça, quand on est posé, c'est bon. En plus, je suis dans la cuisine, tu vois une personne dans la cuisine à part toi? Ah oui, mais on est à plus de 2 mètres de distance, donc c'est bon. Bon, alors du coup, voilà, merci, parce que j'en ai vraiment marre de toi. Faut arrêter, hein. Je te dis...
Il y a personne sur mon live. Ça se fait pas. Avant, il y en avait 4.
Après pas, on va en ramener des personnes. S'il y en a une seule personne. Ah, je pense que j'aimerais qu'il y ait des personnes qui rejoignent. Je sais pas, j'ai envie de passer sur YouTube.
Il y a des personnes. Mais là, tu passes sur YouTube, espèce de bête.
Bonjour, vous êtes qui, madame? Non, mais j'ai pas le droit d'habiter. Enfin, j'ai pas le droit de parler aux inconnus, donc. Là, il y a une inconnue qui me parle, elle s'appelle Laetitia Rouillon. Je crois que c'est ma mère, mais c'est pas grave, c'est quand même une inconnue.
T'as dit quoi?
Il y a ma mère qui me parle, c'est une inconnue.
Et pourquoi? Tu sais, là, je suis en plein live.
Dis, ta mère t'a avorté ou c'est ça? Dis, ton père il t'a chié dessus ou... Je me souviens.
Mais attends, mais tu sais, je suis en live. Ah, tu sais, je suis en live là.
Ouais, mais il y a personne, donc on doit écouter.
Non, mais tu sais, il va être publié le live. Du coup, il y a des. Hier,
Bah, il y aura pas sur
hier-
YouTube, mec, ton live.
Bah, si.
Oh, j'adore. Oh, mec,
Bah, si,
regarde,
hier,
regarde comme ça.
hier j'ai eu 12 vues sur YouTube, à ton avis. C'est normal.
Salut.
C'est qui lui?
Il y a des personnes qui m'invitent à ne pas quitter.
Ouais,
Moi
trouve.
Non, je déconne, hein, je déconne.
Par contre, ça te dérange pas si je suis en live? Ça te dérange pas?
Ouais, il est en live YouTube.
Ok.
Ça te dérange?
En
Tu
direct?
t'en bats les couilles.
Non.
Ouais, bon, tu t'en
Direct.
fous, hein, tu peux dire des gros mots, de toute façon, il y a personne là sur son live.
Voilà, il y a personne.
Ça va arriver, ça
Attends.
va arriver. Là, ils sont en train de manger et personne tout à l'heure, il y avait au moins. Ils étaient 15 sur son live, donc ça va déjà pour commencer. Mais voilà.
Mais là, je viens de lancer un live. Un peu normal qu'il y a personne. Parce que là, on vient de lancer.
Et en plus, ils sont en train de manger,
Ça
c'est
fait
pas
11
mec. Il y
minutes
en
là,
a.
que j'ai lancé le live. Ça fait 11
Alors,
minutes.
moi, je te propose qu'on aille bah, là où il y a
Bah,
le
viens.
concert, en
Tu vas
fait.
venir alors. Toi aussi, tu peux pas danser?
Vas-y, moi, je peux. Ah, ouais, non, moi, je peux pas danser.
Non, tu peux pas, tu peux pas.
Pourquoi?
Je sais pas.
Bon, on fait 3 je crois que tu peux pas, hein. Si.
Si, normalement. Ah, c'est chiant. Regarde, enfin, ça-
Je me rappelle pas.
C'est
bien.
pas trop loin. Moi, j'ai vraiment spawn à l'autre bout.
Ouais, t'as
And
vu,
so I think
c'est
that's
ça.
what's happening now. Like America is realizing, like, oh, black people aren't
Ouais,
just
c'est
making a
quoi
little
ça?
bit of noise. Like the protests are still out.
J'arrive.
The conversations are still being had. The change is still being demanded.
Wesh,
And I
on
think
veut avoir un
they're
minigun.
seeing, oh, this is not
Ah,
going
non.
away. And no, it's not, because we need systematic change.
What a beautiful way
Ah ouais,
to
c'est super
explore
intéressant,
what
hein.
is happening and describe our country.
Ouais,
You might
En
have
putain
to
à
amputate
jambe
a
pour
leg,
sauver
that's to
le
save
corps.
your
Ok,
life.
c'est vraiment
That's
super
what's
intéressant.
happening
Je vous
right now. That's
conseille ce
beautiful.
truc de merde.
And to
On
that
est
end,
sur
I have to
Fornite,
ask you
pourquoi
this,
ils publient
because
cette
the way that
merde?
we do that, we use our voice.
Publier
And our
un
voice
concert.
right now in this world, in this country, is
Ouais, mais
our
peut-être
vote.
tu
pas,
gagnes
publier
un
un
truc.
concert.
And everyone
Peut-être tu
talks
peux
about
gagner un
voting and
truc
how
après,
important
je
it
sais pas.
is, but
moi.
I feel like
Ouais,
more than
bah,
ever, we
tu
understand
m'étonnes.
that it's not just about
Tu
voting every
gagnes le
4
prix
years for me in office.
du
It's
truc
about
le
your
plus
local
ennuyeux, à mon
elections. It's
avis.
about the mayor. It is about the district attorney, the people who have the power to bring charges against
il est
police
nul, le
if
truc.
brutality is an issue in your community.
Ah, je
If
me
you
fais
care about
passer
your
par une
school district,
fille.
you can run for the school board.
Je
I
vous
ask
prank.
this of you, right? Your
Venez,
parents
je vous
are from
prank.
Nigeria. You are Nigerian. You talk about that very lovingly. What does voting mean for you?
C'est une grande.
You know, I think voting is power. I remember, you know, I became a naturalized citizen
J'étais comme ça derrière elle.
when because I was still a
Attends,
minor,
moi
my
aussi, je te
mom naturalized, and so we were able to do it under
Twerk,
her.
twerk, twerk,
And
yeah.
just even that power
C'est
of
beau, hein?
your
C'est beau.
citizen and all the access that we have.
Ouais, nous ouvrons et nous donnons les droits de sucer la bite de tous les passants dans la rue. Hein, bien sûr, hein, même s'il y a Corona, on s'en bat les couilles.
Attention, en plein live en plus. Comme ça, le pire, il va être publié sur YouTube.
Purée, on voit même en arrière, mec. Purée, on voit leur gueule en arrière. Mais non, c'est bon. Tu veux que je fasse des cauchemars, hein, c'est ça. Dis-le. Horrible à ton truc, mec.
I think we are done a disservice either
Regarde, l'autre, elle est à moitié
or
chaud.
whatever it is, and I'm not putting teachers on
L'autre,
blast.
elle est à moitié chaud. Vous allez croire qu'elle va avoir des abonnés.
We
Dégage.
do not, and give them all the raises. I know too many parents.
Ghetto.
On dirait Weshden.
Polonium, lui, il est derrière, il est tranquille.
C'est Weshden.
Bonjour, je suis sur la plage.
I do think that there is a disservice.
Ouais, mais pourquoi t'es mort?
Parce que j'ai décidé de mourir. J'aime bien mourir.
C'est drôle, hein.
C'est
Ouais.
très drôle. Hein.
Ou t'as quitté, en fait.
Moi,
Ah,
Il
en fait,
aime bien.
When you think of voter
en fait, il aime
suppression
bien
in this
mourir, hein,
country,
il aime bien.
what does it look like for you?
It's
Mais
the
il préfère
system. When
quitter,
we
en
talk about
fait.
voter suppression, we also talk about systematic racism,
J'en ai
right?
marre.
It's all the
Oh,
systems that set
oh,
up. And
oh,
we've
Oh, là-bas, il y a
normalized,
une cour, il y a des quads.
okay, maybe your job will give you a
Ok,
half day,
chelou.
or maybe,
Oh,
you
mec,
know,
mec, moi, je vais arriver sur le truc, sur le direct avec un quad.
Attends, Moti. Je peux conduire, s'il te plaît?
Je crois pas qu'on peut prendre.
Ils ont enlevé les quads.
Bah ouais, ils ont tout enlevé puisqu'il y a le truc là.
Ouais, parce qu'ils voulaient pas qu'on
juste
fasse...
n'importe quoi et qu'on gâche le truc. Moi, sinon, moi j'aurais mis de la sauce mayonnaise sur le truc.
Ouais.
Ouais, on m'entend d'ici là.
If you're just trying to get some votes and you already have the vote
Je te dis sur la tyrolienne.
in your everyday
Elle parle
life,
trop.
imagine the one day when your voice really
Attends,
gets
tu
heard
fais
in
hypercute.
the country. But then you
Attends,
also
vas-y,
see
viens.
all the
Je
time
te
that you
rush,
tried
non.
to have
Je te
your
rush,
voice
Nathan.
matter,
Viens.
and then it's been shut down,
Vas-y, non.
repressed, told it
Viens,
doesn't
Nathan.
matter. And then you're
Oh,
kind
oh,
of
oh,
like,
oh.
what's the point?
C'est pas moi?
How do we keep hope, though? If I'm watching
Non, il m'a
this
fait tomber.
right now, how do we as a people stay
Pourquoi
hopeful?
c'est tout le
How
temps
do
moi?
we believe in the promise that these quote-unquote forefathers have given us?
Because have you met black people? By the false.
Ouais, maintenant elle est en train de se marrer.
Like hope is infused in our DNA. Like you know, like if we haven't been broken now through be it through slavery, through capitalism,
Give it to me.
colonization, through segregation, through you know the history of black people in this country is at one point we were 3/5 people.
Sopra. Maxime.
C'est qui?
Sopra.
That was a
Non,
and look at us now.
non, je peux venir.
We're a black boy joy. We are, you know, what I think about in terms of we're making a lot of people.
Mais Sopra. Sopra 11. Je ne sais pas c'est qui.
But that should give us hope. That should give us hope that like we can't stop, won't stop. I mean, I went to the school of Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag Harlem shaking it right now. Can't stop, won't stop. And I think that's our motto. We can't stop marching and we won't stop marching. We can't stop thriving and we won't stop thriving.
To that end, because you led me directly
sur
there,
live.
I've been asking everyone who's appeared on this platform, what does activism look like? And I feel like back in the day, we had an idea. Yes, it is marching. Yes, it is protesting. Yes, it is speaking out against things that we feel are not right or unjust. But talk to me about what activism looks like for Yvonne Orji.
Listen, activism, I think the beauty of activism is that it has many faces, right? You're going to have the people on the front lines. Like, you know what? Martin Luther King marched, but there were a lot of women who were in the homes like, hey, BT Dubs, when they come back, this is how we support all the people who are working on the front lines, and we're going to be here doing what we know to do best here. And you know what? Somebody needs to bail them out of jail so that we need to now we need to be in the community, you know, getting money or whatever it is. So it's like everybody has a position to play, and so play your position like a shortstop, bro. So whoever you are, and whatever you do, so
bon, c'est ennuyant, je pense qu'on va
Ah non, mais ils l'ont remis. Non, ils l'ont remis. Non, mais vas-y, j'ai envie de me taper la mère, me taper la tête là, contre cet arbre là.
Oh merde.
Regarde, hein.
Mais c'est qui Maxime
Aïe.
Sopora?
Bah tu mets tes bah GG hein, pour ce message important
Tu veux que je t'invite?
Mais c'est quoi ton pseudo, Maxime? Tu pourras venir.
Parce qu'on sait pas t'es qui, on sait pas t'es qui. On sait pas c'est quoi ton pseudo, je sais pas si c'est ton ami ou pas.
Donc si tu veux venir,
regarde, il y a 61 amis qui jouent.
Purée, c'est quoi ce... Oh oui, j'ai réussi à reprendre la tyrolienne tel un pro.
Non mais elle m'a saoulé par contre. Elle m'a saoulé, je te jure, je vais quitter. Maxime.
Je crois que c'est lui, Maxime Sopora.
Ouais,
bonjour, t'es qui? Bonjour, tu es qui?
Est-ce que tu joues sur PlayStation?
Nous sommes des petits dauphins. Non.
Attends, Maxime, est-ce que je t'en ai mis ou pas? Je t'en ai mis? Non mais elle veut quoi, elle a un problème.
En tout cas, reste sur le live hein, si tu veux, tu pourras jouer avec nous, il n'y a pas de problème.
Je crois qu'il a regardé parce que j'avais un ami et
But at the end of the day, we gotta vote for our families, we gotta vote for our legacies, we gotta vote for continued progress. We have to vote for
une deuxième fois il a marqué
upward mobility.
Il a marqué
we have to vote for equality in a way that is long.
Oh, qu'elle parle de Fornite quand même.
And if we succeeded before, we can
do it
again.
Fornite, là, je me
talk about the whole. This is the time. This is not the time to give up. This is not the time to pretend a way that we haven't made progress. There's so much more to be done. And you know what? We might have to get to a point where we pass the baton to our children and our children's children, but we still have work to do now for that generation.
Orgy, you are everything. You are Molly, but you are not Molly, but I love you so much as Molly on HBO's Insecure. You are an amazing podcaster, Jesus and Jola. Shout out to Lovey. And then we also have movies. Also, wait, don't let me forget your hugely successful stand-up comedy special on HBO. Girl, you're doing it all. And I am so grateful. You are truly the dream, not just the American dream, the black
t'es qui de moi, t'es qui, t'es où là?
C'est
toi, Max? Si c'est toi, fais ça. Si c'est toi.
I really, really mean that from the bottom of my heart. Yvonne Orgy, ladies and gentlemen, nothing but the best and excellent.
Tourne en rond, si c'est toi. Tourne en rond.
Yeah, la. So Atlanta has been one of the hotbeds in terms of political.
Il y a eu de musique pendant un moment, je sais pas qu'est-ce qui s'est passé.
So much happen in that city, and we've also seen so much come from that city, including one of our very own founding fathers of the civil rights movement. Right now, we want to recommend someone who has used his platform to talk about voting, to talk about racial injustice, and how he's trying to help. Atlanta's very own Russ joins us now on We the People. Russ, I'm not going to fan out and tell you what some of my favorite songs were that I listened to repeat on yours. We're going to get to the topic at hand. So we got to talk about recently you did.
Et du coup, c'est celui qui te suit là?
Your outlook on culture and music, and you also were very candid about the fact that you have a privilege, and that it's necessary for you to give back. Tell everybody about what that means.
As it's very obvious, I'm white, and I'm in Black culture, and I'm benefiting financially off of it. So I feel like if you're a white person financially benefiting off of Black culture, you have to put finances back in the Black culture. Just that simple. The screenshots with the feelings, it just comes off like fake empathy because it comes off very dismissive. Oh, that sucks for y'all. But anyway, back to what I was doing.
Have you felt that way always, or is it now because of the time?
I've always had the feeling. I think now it's just obviously elevated.
Y a pas de problème.
Level and
y a pas de problème, mec. Y a pas de problème.
It's to the point now where
des solutions.
First of all, you can't not say anything. Second of all, though, I just think saying something isn't enough anymore. I think, if you have the ability to put money back into a culture that you're financially benefiting from,
mais dans le sens du terme, pas dans le sens...
It's interesting that you talk about it in that way, because some people do believe that silence is the best way to go.
Comment je me suis cassé la gueule. Il n'y a plus de respect ici. Ils sont tous venus vers moi. Allez les abonnés, n'oubliez pas de lâcher un like, et si vous voulez aller dans ma chaîne, à mon avis je vais sortir des vidéos dans les prochaines semaines. Si vous voulez dans ma chaîne, alors c'est Thunder646, tout collé, avec un espace. Thunder646, 546 c'est un espace à Thunder. C'est gratuit, donc il n'y a pas de problème, vous pourrez venir. N'oubliez pas que Chai aussi offre des cadeaux à ses abonnés, bien sûr. Par contre, moi je verrai si je pourrais vous offrir des cadeaux, bien sûr.
Il n'a pas la
et j'ai la peine de l'activer, mec. C'est chiant. T'as vu, chérie?
Attends, je sais pas, il me dit yo, je peux jouer. Je crois qu'il est.
Je ne t'aime plus. T'es qu'une grosse merde. Oh oui, j'ai réussi. Je suis pas tombée. Toi, par contre, tu commences à tomber. Ah non, il y a un mec qui m'a fait tomber.
Et cher. Karma. Oh, le karma.
Est-ce le karma? Je te jure, là je fonce sur tout le monde. Il n'y a plus de respect pour moi. Je vise autre chose. Il n'y a plus de respect, voilà. Vas-y, c'est moi qui l'aura foncé. Le respect maintenant, il est où?
So
Ah,
for
regarde,
me,
elle est sur le lampadaire.
it was
C'est beau,
3
hein?
years ago. I had like a string of festivals,
Il est chiant.
and I decided that I was going to wear T-shirts with a message on them because I figured, what better time to
Je vais
use
foncer sur le prochain qui me suit.
a bunch of people.
Non,
So one of the T-shirts I wore was,
voilà.
you want to
Je suis
change the
toi.
system, you know,
Maxime Sopra,
speak up, white silence is pro-racism, the whole thing.
Marque un...
And it didn't
Voilà,
really,
c'est moi
like,
qui t'a fait tomber
it
cette
kind of
fois,
got
j'en
swept
avais
under
marre
the
de
rug
toi.
back then.
Ah merde, non.
But you know, when
Non,
all this
je me
stuff
suis pris un
started
gros karma.
happening again, and it's
Vas-y, mais j'en ai marre de vous.
brutality against innocent black
Je vous jure,
people, I was
si
like, man, I'm not
sur
the
ma
biggest
chaîne
artist in
là.
the world,
Non, mais
and
je
I certainly
déconne.
don't have the
Et si
most
vous voulez,
hype
j'ai
fans
aussi
in
un
the
pseudo
world,
Roblox,
but
hein, par contre, c'est toujours
I got a
Death
good amount of
546,
people
mais
that
là,
I
cette fois,
can
c'est
definitely
collé, donc il n'y a pas de
mobilize
problème, hein,
and
vous
turn
pouvez
into
aussi me
some
rejoindre
money,
sur Roblox.
and I know they're down for
Ah,
the
ils
cause.
ont
pas de
and
ils ont
problème,
rien
mec.
piégé,
I've always been outspoken anyway, you know, and so how am I going to be in black
Sur
culture and not
Roblox,
be
j'ai
outspoken
un
about
contre-blog
racism?
Thunder 546 tout collé. Vous pouvez me demander un ami, même si j'ai déjà ma limite d'amis, il n'y a pas de problème, les mecs. Bah voilà. Et par contre, moi je joue plus à des trucs animes, quoi, Dragon Ball, des trucs comme ça, donc ne me saoulez pas s'il vous plaît, hein, pour quand je joue à... Je vous dis, je déteste Adopt Me, voilà. Tout simplement. Voilà. Regardez, c'est moi.
Yeah, so
Attends, regarde, je vais
you know,
niquer.
full transparency.
Oh, je suis même pas tombé. Ah, vas-y, attends, je vais niquer. Oh oui,
you
je
know,
suis
I was one of
toujours pas
those
tombé.
people who was like,
On va
my
niquer,
vote
je vais
doesn't
niquer.
matter, and you know,
Allez, je te
I don't
nique,
know,
voilà,
maybe
c'est
it's 'cause I was
qui
younger, maybe
pro.
it's 'cause I really thought that, I don't know,
Boum, alors
I
mon
just
grand,
think
on a un
that it's
problème.
got some-
Oh merde,
this is a
non.
bit of a-
Vas-y,
this is a
fonce-moi
bit
sur
of a-
moi,
so to
vas-y,
say it's
vas-y,
got to a
vas-y, c'est t'as les
breaking
couilles.
point for me, because obviously it's been past the breaking point for black people.
Vas-y, je t'attends,
I
allez.
think
Moi, je
that
vais foncer
as a
sur vous,
whole,
yeah.
young people need to get
Allez,
out
je suis pas
and vote.
tombé.
We're the
Hop
ones
là,
that
moi je
never
vais
show
prendre
up.
tout sur moi, je
You know what I
compte
mean?
pas.
We never show up to vote.
Allez,
But,
t'as
you
vu
know,
comment on gère là?
we're the future, so it's like, look, we
Allez,
gotta go out there and vote, and then whatever happens, happens.
allez,
But at least we
toujours pas tombé, vas-y.
You
Mais,
gotta
mais
do your
attends,
part.
c'est nul à tous les deux parce qu'en fait on est des pros. Oh, il est tombé comme merde. Oh, je suis toujours pas tombé, mec.
Bien vite, Maxime.
And there's something
Sopra.
beautiful about that.
Vas-y, c'est qui le pro ici? C'est Moa, c'est Moa, c'est Moa.
This is the time to do it.
Honestly, because
Oh non,
I
vas-y.
think that George Floyd
Vas-y,
really,
viens, t'as des couilles.
woke up a lot of
Viens,
people,
s'il te plaît.
including myself, I was
Comme
vocal and
ça.
outspoken about racism. I put
Ils
it
sont
in
même pas de
my
nouilles.
lyrics, I put it
Attends,
on
attends,
t-shirts,
Maxime
I would talk
Sopra,
about it in
il
interviews.
me dit,
Like,
je peux
you know,
venir,
I was
après,
vocal about
je
it,
l'ai
but
invité, il vient pas, il est en
that
mode crève.
video in that moment,
Oh, je suis super
I
chaud.
think me along with a lot of other people
Oui, c'est ça,
just kind of
chaud,
was
mon
like,
pote.
like
Ah, comprends.
words are simply not enough anymore. We gotta do
J'ai cru que t'étais
something.
tombé là pendant un moment. Ah non! Oh, j'ai failli
Raising
tomber!
money,
Oh, j'ai failli tomber!
whether
Le mec,
it's
je me suis tapé un
voting
gros
or
screamer de
all
ma
the
life.
above. Like, it's,
Ah non,
we
j'ai
gotta do
tombé!
something, you know, and
Le karma de
I'm,
Nathan!
I'm ashamed that it took
Il venait vous battre!
that
Cette fois,
for
j'ai des
me
boules!
to be like, I need to raise money
Mais
and I
non,
need to
en
vote.
plus, c'était elle qui
You know?
m'avait
It's a
fait
shame,
tomber.
and I don't know. It just, I guess it snapped a bunch of people out
Bah
of
oui,
it,
mais...
you know?
Oh non!
And even if
Oh
you
non!
were vocal and,
peut pas,
and
j'arrive.
whatnot, it's just, it's time to actually put your money where
Comment
your
je vais
mouth
taper
is.
un gros
It's
screamer
time to
la
go
meuf.
vote. You know, it's time to just stop talking about it and be about it. You know,
Viens
and
battre
it's
sous
been
ta
time for that,
dédouille!
but
Oh, je l'ai
like I said,
détruit.
you know,
Oh, regarde comment j'ai
I'm
ses bras!
ashamed
Oh
that
non!
it took me
Mais
this
vas-y,
long
ça
to
a bugué,
actually
mec!
really be about it.
Oh, je laisse
But
ma
I'm
brain!
here now.
Tiens, je t'ai
So
brain.
Russ, we all know that this is going to be your first time voting.
Yeah.
Tell me what that
Yeah.
experience is going to be
Vas-y,
like
on
for
va
you in
brain.
terms of what you're
Tiens,
I think you know what it's
tiens.
gonna do for me. It's gonna
Je
let
trouve
me
pas, moi,
know
il passe à
that
travers les gens.
I'm
c'est pas la même-
contributing to something
T'as vu
bigger
comment
than
j'en ai fait
myself.
tomber? Comment je les ai fait tomber?
Putting
Il n'y a
my
plus de
money where my mouth
respect.
is and I'm being about it because
Ciao, le
you know,
respect!
for so long, and I know I'm not
T'as vu, il
alone
veut
with
sortir
this,
avec toi.
but, you know,
Hop là,
standing on the
dégage.
outside and
Je
just
t'ai brain.
screaming about this and that and this should change.
Allez! Oh
It's like,
non!
alright, but did you vote?
Oh, comment je suis
You know?
retenue!
And so I'm, you know, I know it's
Je ne
gonna
paye
feel good to
plus.
know that.
Oh, t'as failli me faire tomber! Oh, je t'ai fait tomber! Allez, shit!
And that's the
Allez,
problem.
ah
I think
non,
that
j'ai
mentality
failli!
of like, my vote
cru
doesn't
que t'allais me
matter
faire
needs
tomber,
to be changed.
Ah ouais!
My
Allez! C'est
vote,
qui pro ici?
albeit small,
Allez!
doesn't
C'est
matter.
moi qui vous
It's
fait
your
tomber!
life.
Viens,
I
chevalier
play my
noir.
part and you play your part and he and she plays their part.
Non, il y a un
then we
chevalier
make a
noir.
difference.
Ouais,
But you know, it'll feel.
Tonton.
I have a feeling it's gonna feel very,
Salut,
very bigger than me. And I think
c'est moins pro
when
ici.
you realize
Comment
that
je l'ai fait
giving,
tomber là, il y a plus de...
Maxime,
T'as vu,
actually
respect?
better than
arrête les
receiving, that's when you
bêtises et
start
tu nous
wanting to
rejoins.
do your part and contribute.
Tu vas
So
faire
Ouais,
le
donc
live.
voting
c'est
is
soit
a-
tu
is
nous
an
rejoins
easy
ou
way
tant
to
pis, hein.
give.
Avec
Toi,
un
tant pis, t'as pas de dédicace.
Yeah.
Hein.
To whom
Je
much
te
is
dis,
given, much is
même si
required.
c'est pas
You've
beaucoup
been
d'abonnés,
given
c'est pas
this
grave.
platform, and we are
En vrai, ils
so
s'en bat les
grateful
couilles de
for
ta
you.
dédicace.
Philanthropist, artist, community
Attends,
activist,
Yo, je
first
peux
time
venir.
voter. We
Tu
appreciate
gères
you for joining us,
Maxime
okay?
Sopra.
Thank you, I appreciate y'all.
Yo, espèce de nouille, tu pues la merde en vrai. Ah, je t'ai fait tomber, non?
Oh, tu fais tomber quelqu'un.
Ouais, je
So,
sais. Ah, attends, mais tu sais faire tomber!
On a fait tomber un gars, nous deux.
especially now in this country.
Ouais, vas-y,
tu vas
c'était
aller
trop
non,
drôle, là. Check!
Racism
Check!
as well as
Oh, je t'ai fait tomber.
brutality. We can do in this country.
Oh, j'ai fait.
Again, we're continuing our
Vas-y, regarde, je vais le
conversation.
niquer.
You know that you're
Allez, oh non, il m'a sauté!
and
T'as vu, il prend des risques. T'as vu, il prend des risques. T'as vu, les risques?
currently, I'd like to welcome the
Vas-y, vas-y, arrête. C'est t'as des couilles. Allez! Oh non! T'es sérieux?
Atlanta, more specifically McDonough. Let's
Oui,
be
j'avais
technical.
réussi.
And
Putain, je vais inviter des gens.
Ouais.
The virus shutting everything down.
Allez, mon grand, vas-y, vas-y, viens de
Us
battre.
being called to action.
Oh, mais il s'est fait mec.
Multiple police brutality situations.
Il te voulait ça tous fait tomber, le mec. Oh, 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 oh non, oh non, oh oui, oh oui, oh mec, j'ai passé au moins 6 personnes et je suis toujours pas tombée.
J'ai fait des pirouettes.
Comment je les ai poussés, mais mec, j'ai fait tomber 6 personnes.
reasonable, respectable.
Vas-y,
Ils étaient tous fait tomber.
vas-y, j'arrive. Non,
More than a vote.
non.
It is a
Nathan,
beautiful
j'arrive te
collective.
battre.
Black athletes.
Cousin, j'arrive.
You are a part of that. Talk to me about
Cousin,
why that's
j'arrive.
important for you right
Non,
now.
Vas-y. Oh, mais comment il s'est cassé la gueule.
To me personally, it's important
Je
to
suis
be a
en train
part
de
of
les
that
faire tomber,
because,
mec.
oh, I've
Vas-y, quitte.
Mais venez,
C'est moi.
Minecraft
C'est moi le vrai quitte. Vas-y.
no longer use baseball and work as an excuse not to get
Il a failli me
educated.
faire tomber, Yoko.
Also to show people like at any moment in
J'arrive,
time, any walk of life,
Nathan.
we can make a difference.
Aïe, s'ils me font tomber, à partir de ça,
Hop
ça va
là,
plus
hop
aller.
là.
In my words, it looks
Oh, le
like
chevalier noir, là.
LeBron James, the biggest
Moi, Go can a joué en vrai pour voir. Il y a des
Non,
personnes.
personne
speaking
parle.
up and breaking the ice for everyone.
Mais non, Go can a joué, on va voir.
First time people see and hear from us, so now we have
Non, et
white
vous êtes
people,
sérieux?
we have other people speaking up and realizing, okay, like this is how we go about doing it.
Personne parle.
Ils ont pas d'opinion de toute façon.
Athletes speaking up, entertainers speaking up, like we're trying to do
Nathan,
more than
ton
the vote.
boss,
You
c'est
said
plus
something
le
I
boss
thought was so
maintenant,
key
c'est moi le
because
boss.
covering sports for so
Évidemment.
long.
Ah si, attends, je vais
T'as
me
pas
défoncer.
battu.
It's tough
Ça
for
va pas.
black players specifically
Viens,
Genre, je fais
in
une
Major
défoncer.
League
Tiens,
Baseball. to talk
allez.
Ouais, bah, je suis pas. Oh, tu fais
Adam
tomber un
Jones did it
gars.
in a very
Olé.
open way early on, but there are very few that are vocal.
Allez.
You said
Je
you
t'ai
all
caressé.
are afraid. Why use
t'ai
that word?
caressé.
Why were you afraid?
Non.
Si,
Oh,
je
comment
t'ai
t'es
caressé.
niqué.
2019, there were 68 of us total, and there are 38 teams.
Je t'ai encore caressé,
niqué,
mec.
mec. littéralement. Arrête de me suivre.
Mec,
Reported
t'as encore
member
Arrête de me
caressé.
suivre.
which is
Oh, je t'ai encore
on this team as
caressé.
well. There are
Allez, je vais
many.
vous niquer. Aïe, aïe, aïe.
We're
Tiens,
outnumbered in that
prends
sense,
ça.
but
Et
not
tiens.
always negative way
Ouais,
when it
tu
comes
m'as
to our
pas fait
teammates
tomber,
and our
mais bon.
clubhouses.
T'es
To get to this point,
nul.
you have
T'es
to
pas
move
le
a certain way.
boss.
You gotta be careful what you say. You can't ruffle feathers.
T'es
Oh, j'en ai
pas
fait
le
tomber.
boss.
In any way. No,
T'es
much
Allez,
pas le
j'arrête
boss.
pas d'en faire tomber, mec.
yourself.
T'es pas le boss.
Allez, blague mentale,
C'est
ça
moi.
dégage. Allez.
C'est moi le vrai boss ici.
C'est moi quitte ici.
Baseball,
Vas-y, viens te battre si t'as
C'est
des
moi.
couilles. Et
Moi, je sais pas, je suis qui, mais bref. C'est pas grave.
pas grave, bah, pote.
Oh, je t'ai fait tomber un nom.
Comment c'est niqué. Oh, non, bah,
That is a
J'arrive,
expression that
Nathan.
black folks can relate to.
c'est moi le vrai
One
kiss
aspect
ici.
of professionalism that they experience, especially if they work with themselves. They just feel that. That is also
Oh, oh, t'as failli me faire tomber.
black folks, especially
Je me
like you
suis
said, if
rattrapée
you want
avant
to get
tout.
to a higher level. And for so long, I felt it
We
was
just
rather
don't
than
fly, get up.
surface that so many of us
T'as vu
who
comment
were
je
in
suis
whatever
sautée?
positions we were tired of pretending and looking the other way.
We just don't fly, get up, get up.
Do you feel
Oui,
Non, le chevalier noir me fait
the type
tomber.
Non, Non, c'est moi qui t'a fait tomber.
Non, bah t'es quand même pas le bot, t'es le plus nul. T'es nul.
Je sais pas. On mange ici. Moi j'ai envie de manger avec Alex et moi je vais changer de skin, je vais prendre le skin le plus gore. Ah, j'ai une trop bonne idée.
Rejoindre mon live s'il vous plaît.
Rejoignez notre live, hein, n'hésitez pas à mettre le lien en description. C'est-à-dire dans mon lit.
Feeling more comfortable, feeling more safe to share how you feel about social injustice and police brutality. What are you doing right now in this moment with your platform to help change how we look at voting and how to educate the culture and the community about voting?
Tu as dit oui, je l'ai ajouté en ami, il m'a accepté, mais il veut pas jouer avec moi. Il a pas voulu, je crois qu'il voulait juste savoir quel temps d'amis en fait.
Il avait pas assez d'amis peut-être. Regarde mon skin mec que j'ai mis. Yeah. Cette fois je vais vous niquer.
T'as mis quoi? Ah il est nul.
Non, je vais vous niquer avec ça.
Ah ouais? Ah ouais?
Et c'était toi?
Bah ouais.
Ah, je te vois. Mais mec, je te vois, je vois plus ton pseudo. Olé! Olé! Wouhou!
Hop là!
Oh non, j'ai failli tomber! Oh oui, je vais tomber! Mec, c'est que dawa! Salut! Hello, it's me, the you much, Tommy. Thanks. Par contre, il discute plus là. Mais mec, je vais quitter, moi je vais aller faire du duo ou des arènes, hein, je sais pas, mais gars, ça va saouler le duo.
Non mais imagine, tu gagnes un truc à la fin.
Et on gagne rien, mec.
Bah imagine.
Car pour à peine ben non, on va rien gagner.
Et c'est trop marrant de te compter là. Par contre.
Oh non, j'en peux plus.
T'en peux plus parce que t'es nul. T'es nul.
Et moi je suis en train de tous vous niquer, regarde.
Ah ouais, vas-y, je t'attends.
Ouais, allô? Ouais, allô, t'as un problème? Alors tu dégages, voilà.
Oh, les insultes, arrête.
Mais j'ai rien fait, allô?
Mais c'était une blague. Mec, moi j'arrête, moi je vais quitter, je vais aller faire de la reine, je sais pas, parce que là ça m'a saoulé.
Avec qui?
Avec ton cul.
Mon cul là, pas assez de place pour toi.
Et si,
moi j'ai mis chaperon et chival.
Bah non,
est-ce que l'un de vous deux a le pack?
Non. Mais on s'en fiche que tu l'as. Oh là là, ça veut pas dire que tu l'as acheté.
Est-ce qu'on sait bien on peut quitter, s'il te plaît?
Mais j'ai toi, ok, parce que j'ai juste demandé quelqu'un avait le pack. J'ai fait
pas mais à ton avis, on
peut quitter, Chaine. On peut quitter, c'est nul.
Where you see people, especially when
allez, mon pote, c'est qui pro ici?
C'est quoi en fait, Royal?
Ah bah t'es tombé, hein. On me regarde le
mais non, j'ai fait exprès, ça.
What you're saying, these examples of
hop là.
sending your ballot too late after the fact, or shutting down
j'ai appris
access to class while people still are in line. That's a real life issue. There needs to be some
il y a des personnes qui rejoignent mon live là.
Oui, bah tu vas faire un autre truc, je sais pas, tu fais de l'arène, mais je pense
tu avec Slow de légende.
Attends, je sais un truc, regarde. Maxime Sopra, il m'a envoyé 3 messages. Attends, Maxime Sopra, il m'a envoyé 3 messages. Yo, je peux venir, tu gères. Maxime Sopra, parce que je lui ai demandé c'était quoi son épique. Et je l'ai ajouté en ami.
Ah, venez, on se rejoint quelque part pour voir où vous êtes.
Eh, il est bugué lui, le Black Manta.
Venez, on se rejoint. Non, vous êtes tout juste.
Mais non, mec, c'est Dieu qui te genre.
If you look toward the future, what are you most excited about in terms of seeing a change?
Non, je peux pas danser.
Je me suis désabonné à ta chaîne.
Quoi?
T'as dit quoi?
Tu peux danser, Chaine, ou pas? Tu peux danser ou pas?
Non.
Cool. Parce qu'à ma vie, c'est pas un bug du coup. Je suis en train d'arriver. Ah!
Qui regarde mon live?
We're doing this
Moi,
for
je rigole.
we're gonna come together. We're gonna use
Je suis en porcelaine.
Viens dans
I feel
notre
like this is a new way of getting
groupe. Quand t'es
Ah, on entend ma voix MDR.
And you're right, people
Quand
are
t'as écrit
spreading the word
groupe,
unapologetically out here.
t'as
We
marqué
doubling down.
groupe.
Thank you so much.
T'as
I
marqué
appreciate
groupe.
you.
Groupe. T'as quitté mon live.
Je suis là.
Hey everybody,
Vous
I am
êtes
so
où?
excited to welcome a friend, a
Vous êtes où?
brother, family member, if you will, former colleague, NBA.
Mec, va dans le Ben, va dans le... va dans le...
Je suis au grand écran. Je suis en train de sauter.
Nous, on est sur la tyrolienne. Moi, je suis Austin tueur.
Nathan, the people who know you and love you and look up to you. Why is it so important that you?
Ah putain, il m'a niqué.
Ça, je te vois dans les airs. Tu es un tiro.
Get past the stigma of the mental systemic racism that comes with the presidential race, governors, mayors, senators, judges. We've been conditioned to believe that our vote does not matter. So usually when we looked up,
Je vous vois, Nathan. Je vous vois sur le tiro. Chai, Chai.
not only
Quoi, il n'y a plus de respect. Tu regardes le live. Ouais, venez, on quitte, c'est nul.
Je suis là, Chai. Et je te pousse, Chai. Je te pousse, Chai. Je te pousse.
that finally our country is going to do something that we
pousse.
felt
Ouais,
would never happen in our lifetime.
Mais non, arrête pas le
I
live.
remember
Arrête
taking
pas le
up a
live.
celebration in 2008. I
Après,
made
j'arrête
sure I
le
was
live.
there.
T'es bête.
And
Mais non, arrête pas le live.
in 2016,
Ouais, bah alors ils vont voir un truc noir, c'est tout.
we didn't vote. And so many
Mais
people